Hi, everyone. I'm Lauren Konkar-Sheehy, the Executive Director of the Garden State Film Festival. And with me today is Ruben Pla, Director of the Horror Crowd. Hi, Ruben.
How's it going, Lauren?
Awesome. Thank you so much for joining us on this snowy day.
Oh, my pleasure. It is kind of snowy, isn't it? Yeah. I'm loving it, though.
Ice rain. Okay, so the Horror Crowd is playing Sunday, March 28th, 2021 at the Asbury Lanes. The film block is AL10 and it's 1 p.m. to 3:15. So Ruben.
Yes.
It's an awesome documentary. Tell me, what inspired you to make this?
Well, simply put, I was traveling in the horror circles in Los Angeles and Hollywood a few years ago, acting in movies and so forth, meeting a lot of horror filmmakers, actors, producers, writers. And I thought, you know what, I should interview some of these people and just, get it on camera and see what I get, maybe just use my phone or something. No big deal. Just kind of see what happens. So I started asking people, do you want to do this? And they all said, yeah, that sounds like fun. Then I talked to my buddy, Hank Braxton, who ended up being my co-producer. And he said, why don't I just get you some cameras and let's, jack it up a little bit. I go, that sounds good. And he goes, and I'll bring in some sound equipment and lighting kits. And then we can use my studios to film some scenes in. I go, yeah. And then we approached his wife, Ariel Brockfeld, who ended up being my producing partner. And she jumped on it, and everybody, it just exploded. We started approaching people like, Lynn Shay, Oren Peli, Darren Lynn Bousman, Mike Mendez, Adam Robitel, Jeffrey Reddick, Craig Perry. All these people just wanted to do it. They wanted to open up to you, the audience, and reveal their secrets.
Right. I do feel that we're there with you, that we're in the room with them during each interview.
I tried to make it as comfortable as I could. Obviously, they all knew me. I'd worked with almost all of them and knew them all 37 of them. There's a lot of people in this thing everybody's in it. And they felt very comfortable. As you can see when you watch the documentary, I'm sitting on the couch, my arms around them, high-fiving each other, cracking up. So it's a very comfortable atmosphere. And I felt that they felt comfortable enough that they could open up to me and reveal things that they'd never revealed before. So that was a lot of fun.
Right. And so far, what has your fan base, I know on Facebook and Instagram, all your social media, what are the fans saying that you're able to bring this to them?
I love that you asked me that, because my greatest experience so far has been the reaction I'm getting from the little kid in some little town in Scotland somewhere, a geek who's got a love of horror, but doesn't know anybody. There's no clubs around him. And the festival directors are telling me, all these people are saying, oh my God, this movie speaks to us. And, we want to have our own horror crowd. And I say, yeah, make your own horror crowd if you're out there and get people together, have a trivia night, horror, like we had every month at the Jump Cut Cafe, get together, help each other. More importantly, help each other in each other's films. You act in his, he directs you in this, he does the lighting on this, you do the music on that, and just build that whole community. And that's really what I'm glad this film has opened up the world to people to think, wow, I can do that. I can have my family of horror or sci-fi or fantasy or cooking or art, whatever. It could be anything across the board.
That's awesome. So if fans, are you able to be interactive with them on your Facebook and everything if they have questions?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. I mean, like I said, it's been in several festivals, a lot of international ones, and the fans just write me and say, oh, this and that is this segment really affected me. The one about the club, the horror club you guys had, the Jump Cut Cafe really spoke to me. I want to start my own club. So people in detail have said this segment about women in horror or this segment about race relations spoke to me. And I love that spoke to me things,
That's awesome. And then with the Garden State Film Festival app, that will be another location that you can have the interaction with the fans and the other filmmakers. So we're super excited about that. So let's get to, for those that don't know, tell us more about what the documentary reveals and who you to put the spotlight on.
Well, as I mentioned briefly, people like Lynn Shay, from Insidious, the star of Insidious, and many hundreds of other movies. Oren Peli, who created Paranormal Activity. Jeffrey Reddick, who created Final Destination. Craig Perry, who produced that with him. I mean, Mike Mendez, a very fantastic, very funny independent filmmaker who did Big Ass Spider and Don't Kill It and so many others. And, Chelsea, so many people. Like I said, it's 37 people. Chelsea Stardust. And it just, what it did for me was I knew these people, but it opened them up to me and revealed so many things. I go, wow, really? Like some of them, their parents, supported them in their endeavors, and yeah, be a filmmaker. And some are like, no, we don't want that for you. No, I want you to be an electrician or a plumber, which is what Mike Mendez does. So it's amazing how different kind of influences from the family and the parents, they can be for you or against you in this endeavor. And you can still, if you have that burning desire inside of you, you can still achieve it.
That's awesome. I know when they're like, what? How is that going to be a full-time day job? It's like, come on.
How are you going to pay the bills?
Yeah. That's unbelievable. So how much footage did you have to go through to cut it down to be an hour and 32 minutes?
Nice question. People don't believe me when I tell them, but I had 40 hours of footage down to 92 minutes. And I'm talking about, we have multiple camera and the whole thing. I had to get it down. So the film, I don't want to just have a mishmash thrown up there like, Jackson Pollock style on the wall, just a bunch of scenes. I wanted it to make sense. Each scene leads to the other. We're talking about, I love dressing up in makeup and costumes. Oh, that leads into the Halloween thing, So each one has a certain segue into the other. And I had to get it down from 40 hours to 92 minutes. So the editing process was monumental, time-wise, but I loved every second of it. Because to me, editing is like sculpting. You take a little bit of clay here, and put it on here, a little bit of clay there, and that's how I approach editing. And I'm very happy with the way it turned out.
That's so cool. So how many versions do you think you made? Because I know for me, I like to edit something and then kind of have fresh eyes on it and sit. Sure. I think even sitting far back to really like capture, okay, what the hell did I just make? Let me see what's going on and where the story's going to be shaped into. You know what I'm saying? Wait, play that again.
What the hell did I just make, Lauren?
I love that feeling when you're just doing it and you're like, what did I do?
Yeah, no, I get it. No, I must have had on my drive. I still must have a computer drive. I must have 20 versions still, because I trimmed it down, from 40 hours, I trimmed it down to have like a 2.5 hour version, then I had a 2:15, then a 2.
Come back.
He'll come back.
Okay. I just gave him some.
Doing black. There we are. Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you for taking care of that. So a lot of versions, but this is the one I'm the most happy with. 92. It's fast. A lot of people tell me that, God, the pacing is so fast. It flies by. I go, yeah, good. That's what I want. I hate documentaries that go on for hours and hours, and then they stay on one person for 10 minutes, just like this, and the guy's droning on.
Talking head. Oh yeah. No, but that's correct. I mean, you can't really get lost in like the total runtime, but really, if the story moves along and it keeps going, that's great. There's so many other features that shouldn't be features, but this, like you said, it moves along and takes you through. And how many
locations? Happy to hear that.
Yeah.
I'm so happy to hear that, Lauren. Thank you so much, really.
Welcome.
Locations. Well, we shot, I think, 20 of the 37 we shot in a studio, in Hank's studio, and the rest were at their homes. We went to a bar. We went to the park. I just met them at different locations that they felt comfortable in. And like in Lynn Shay's, we shot it in her backyard with her little puppy. She's stroking her puppy during the whole interview. And she loved that. She was comfortable, and the puppy was cute, and the whole thing, So each one was very different. Greg Grunberg, Ming's buddy, was at a bar that he has. We shot it at the bar with the bottles all around us. So that was fun. So, they're all different. Yeah.
That's so cool. Ming, do you have any things you're holding back?
No, I'm always here for Greg Grunberg stories, which we will get on one of these live streams for sure.
Excuse me a second, Ming, while I drink out of my Captain America coffee cup. Thank you very much.
Yeah, I'm just glad you're able to.
In your honor, Ming.
Yeah, I mean, so you've definitely you've pegged yourself as a fan, as a fan and a fanboy. Oh, yeah. What do you find the horror crowd definitely a unique fandom? With interesting characteristics. I just anytime I meet a horror fan, it's like, all right, I'm in for like a roller coaster ride because
yes,
and obviously you're one of them. But I mean, how do you describe? No, in a good way.
You're different.
I know what you mean. I think what I find is there are a couple of
That's
characteristics.
funny.
One is definitely passion. Horror fans are very passionate,
Yeah.
for sure.
Yeah.
They also have a screw loose because they love gore. They love seeing heads being chopped off. They they love like that. They love that escapism. But I think anywhere, if you're, no matter where you are, whether if you're either at the White House or at a dive bar, and you meet a fellow horror fan who's seen some obscure Italian or Japanese horror film, like instantly you bond.
Mm-hmm.
I always thought that was really cool. I don't.
Yeah, I gotta tell you this out of the. Go ahead. No, you go ahead.
It's true.
Yeah, I mean, that wasn't really a question or
Go
anything.
ahead.
I was just, I guess I was just getting your thoughts on that. Or, I mean, have you been a lifelong horror fan? Were you one of those kids who had a mom who didn't care what you watched, and like 5 years old, you saw Texas Chainsaw Massacre?
They didn't know if I watched. As you see in the documentary, some kids had to sneak it in and watch it, when the parents didn't know. Some kids, like their parents said, yeah, sure, come on, I'll go see Texas Chainsaw. So the whole crowd and the world is different. The whole horror fan base, sci-fi, fantasy, whatever. They're all different. They come from different backgrounds and different influences, as I mentioned. I personally was first influenced by the reruns of the Universal horror classics. Those Dracula, Wolfman, and Frankenstein in particular, especially Wolfman. I was raised in New York City. I used to watch Creature Features. And you probably know Creature Features, Ming. Do you know that?
Oh, yeah,
and Chiller Theater and those things.
Chiller Theater, the old like
those.
the old Channel 9. With the hand.
Well, exactly, yeah. So I was raised watching those, and they would rerun all the old 30s and 40s Universal classics. And when I would watch, the Wolfman and Lon Chaney and the angst and the horror that he's going through when he's transforming or about to transform, I was like devastated by that. Besides being scared, I was devastated. Like, oh my God, this poor guy, he didn't do anything to deserve this curse, and now he's a wolf by night. And so that really affected me. Yeah, so that was my, my scenes.
Do you have a favorite Universal monster?
Oh yeah, Wolfman. Yeah, it has to be Wolfman. I think Creature from the Black Lagoon is close second, again, because of the pathos factor. He didn't really, look for trouble. He was just there in his little lagoon, his little black lagoon, swimming around, and, all of a sudden, this beautiful girl swimming above him, and he's like doing his ballet under her, which is a classic scene. So Julie Adams swimming, he's under her swimming. So that affected me too. But I to answer your question, I'd go with Wolfman and Lon Chaney's performance in that. Yeah.
Yeah, which you described that so beautifully, and you can't really replicate that now. Even though I guess Tom Cruise and his
No.
they're trying, they're failing, and I mean, I think again this is a prime example of something that's like this doesn't need to be redone or updated. The originals were great.
Yeah.
No need.
I don't get that. It pisses me off.
Although I would love to see Tom Cruise doing an underwater ballet, though. That would be kind of fun. Mission Impossible 7. Doing a little thing like the Creature from the Black Lagoon.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. Classics are the classics. I mean, what do you think about horror films today?
Well, there's some standouts, of course. There's always going to be standouts in any genre, whether it's horror, fantasy, romantic comedy, adventure, action. There's always standouts, but I'm going to have to say the majority are not classic. Every one of them, no, I'll take that back. Not every one of them. A lot of them have moments here and there. And, I tend to find, because I'm a writer also, that a lot of films, any genre across the board, fall apart after Act 1. They have a very strong, I don't know how many times I've seen a movie and Act 1, the first 30 minutes, 20 minutes, I'm like, this is going to be fantastic. And then it becomes a piece of crap. They just start throwing at you the stupidest things because I got to believe the studios are saying, the audience doesn't care. They're stupid. They're not going to take this. Well, they're wrong. We're very discerning and again, in any genre. And we want a good script, a good, tight, fast script.
Yeah.
Don't just throw a bunch of stars at me and a bunch of ships at me, spaceships. You better give me a good script or I'm going to see ya. When I was a little kid, I used to watch every movie all the way through, or I went to plays in New York straight through. I wouldn't miss a second. I go, well, if they devoted all that time to making this movie or this play, I'm going to sit here. Not anymore. I'll give you 20 minutes.
Yeah.
You don't have me in 20 minutes. see ya. That's the way I feel about it now.
All right. I know. It's very frustrating. They bait you in the beginning and hook you, and then you're like, wait a minute. No. What happened?
Yeah. Bait and switch. Yeah.
Tell me more about your background. You said you're a writer. I know you directed this. So let's tell us more about NYU and everything.
Sure. Yeah. NYU. Yeah. I was raised in New York City. Then I went to college down in Miami. Came back as soon as I graduated to New York City. Started doing NYU graduate films as a trainee. There's a training background and to get on set experience because I knew I wanted to be a film actor and TV. So started doing these little ultra low budget graduate NYU thesis films. It's incredible training ground. It was so wonderful. Learn about the cameras and the lights and how the direction and the angle and make sure you're open to the camera. All these things that you really can't learn in a theater class.
Right.
Those are very valuable. So that was fantastic. That I did like 25 of those, and then started doing a lot of TV. Soap opera. The local soap operas, One Life to Live, and America's Most Wanted.
Yeah.
I killed Paul Castellano, by the way.
Were you blurred out and your voice was different?
No. I was the killer of Paul Castellano, and it was my face. And this is not a joke. Literally within the week, I was getting looked at in the streets. People looking at me like this, thinking I'm the killer who's on the loose. Because people thought, oh, this is the real guy they're after, but some people don't put it together that it's an actor. And one guy actually said, I saw you on America's Most Wanted. I thought you were the killer. I go, no, it's acting, dear boy. Genius. Thank you.
Don't call 911. Put it down.
Don't call 911. But and then from there, I did a bunch of off-Broadway theater, contract equity theater off-Broadway. And I decided, you know what? Let me head out to LA and start making a little more money. I've done a lot of art already. Let me start making. So went to LA and started getting into TV shows, Hunter and all these, The Practice. Everybody loves Raymond and all these others, so many. And movies, a lot of it. Now, started getting into the independent film world. Started doing Insidious with James Wan, and that opened the doors to the horror crowd and meeting all these horror filmmakers. And then I said, let me try a little directing. So this is my feature directing debut. Yeah,
that's so cool. So knowing, where you came from, it was NYU and all of that. So the Garden State Film Festival, we have student filmmakers and experienced and seasoned filmmakers. What words of wisdom might you have for some of our student filmmakers that are going through this the beginning phases of doing the clinics and workshops and everything? Give them hope that there's light at the end of the tunnel.
2 things. Number one, get a horror crowd. Get a crowd together. Get your own personal horror crowd. Have some TPs and some lighting guys and the music guys, composers, actors, of course, and all that. And have a core like Orson Welles had the Mercury Theater. He used the same people. Angus Moorhead, Joseph Cotton. He just used them over and over again. Have that core group that you can just tap for this thing and that thing, and then you can help them on their little projects, as I mentioned before. So have a core group of hopefully talented people, but also nice people, because there's talented people out there who are like real jerks. Yeah. And I'd rather work with a talented, nice person than a talented jerk. So make sure that there's some nice people. Number two, never, ever give up. Just keep going. Keep going. If you're really bitten by the art bug in any aspect of it, writing, directing, acting, music, whatever it is, art, just keep going. And you never know. Branch out and try this and work on people's films, and you just never know the network where it's going to come from, who you're going to meet, and where it's going to take you. So those are the things I would say. Create a horror crowd and never, ever give up.
That's awesome. Like, what do you think about those trying to create a horror crowd and they don't know where to begin?
Oh, God. I mean, social media is so, prevalent now. That's the easiest way. There's so many, come on the horror crowd Facebook page and, meet some of the people there. Seriously, just go to any, horror club, horror aficionados, horror community pages, and just join those and start going every day. And you're going to meet people. That's how I met through Facebook. Originally, not all these people, a lot of these people that led to things that, led me one to the other was through Facebook. You just never know. You strike up conversation, you comment on a thing. You say you want to meet for drinks, you want to meet for coffee. I mean, that's how it is,
Awesome.
Yeah, I find for all the blood and gore and dismemberment, the horror crowd, as it were, the fandom, very open, very welcoming, for sure. I've been to several horror conventions. We have many here in the great state of New Jersey, in fact, and everyone I've been to, I've always come with making new friends. If not at the convention itself, there's always a hotel bar somewhere after the convention, or midnight
you can go to this bar right here.
Yes, Bar Ruben over there looks really amazing. Lauren, we gotta get down there.
We'll
somehow.
be right there. Yeah, what's going on? We have the truck. We can get over there.
Yeah, we'll have you guys come over after the festival. Maybe after the award show, we'll just get in the car and just drive over here, hang out.
I might be really tired.
Oh, you think? I bet you're going crazy, Lauren. Seriously, I mean, I don't know how the hell you do it to run this with and all these podcasts and the festival, scheduling the festivals and dealing with filmmakers, and you got to be, and don't stop, but you got to be exhausted,
Thanks. Yeah, I don't really think about it and keep plowing through. Because if you stop thinking about it, I was like, what the hell did I get myself into?
You know what, Lauren? Never, ever give up.
Yeah.
Just like that. Just like exactly what you're saying. Yeah.
Because this year, guys, I don't know if you're ready for this, but we have 300 films from over 25 countries.
And this is during a pandemic, mind you.
So yes.
Incidentally, everybody else is postponing and canceling. And in 2020, I don't know if you're aware, but the Garden State Film Festival, our tiny little nonprofit, was not only the first, but the only festival in the whole world or universe, whichever one you want to put in there. Cute our festival. We didn't cancel, we didn't postpone. And on March 11th is when we got word that there were no mass gatherings allowed. So we had to quickly pivot to live stream. And with FNS Digital, Sage and Francesco, we built our own custom platform with them, and we were ready to go in 11 days.
That's fantastic.
Thank
Truly
you.
Fantastic.
I'm not surprised we did it. I'm surprised nobody else did.
Yeah. People get scared. As I say, people give up. Obstacles. Obstacles get in their way, and they go, that's too hard. I'm going to go do this and watch a TV show instead, or whatever. Yeah. So, good kudos to you.
Thank you. Oh my gosh, it was awesome. I'm still in shock that everything is still weird. Oh, and then I might be a lunatic, but
yes,
we're now 6 days. We expanded the festival.
Yes.
6 days, and we're super excited.
And you're super insane as well.
Yeah, I think so. So all the hours I should be eating and sleeping and whatnot, we're just with Diane Raver, the founder, Kristen Dorado, our director of operations, Heather Britton O'Scanlan, who does our social media. So we're just all nonstop. But it's great. Yeah. I mean, so we do this for you guys. If we're here for. So basically, we're your number one fans.
Oh,
over 300 films. Seriously,
because that's a lot.
We do it for you. A lot of people think, I'm going to make a film festival. It'll be so much fun. Sometimes, but it's really hard work. This is the program book. Soon the program book for this year will be created, but this is what the schedule looks like. I mean, so this year it's going to be even more. And we're starting off on March 23rd at the Cranford Theater. So Cranford will be over here. And then the Asbury Park locations will be here. We're 4 venues live in person in Asbury Park. And they are the Asbury Hotel, the Asbury Lanes, the Berkeley Kingsley Room, and the Berkeley Johnny and June Room. The Johnny and June Room is so cool. It's
as in new. Johnny and June Cash?
Yes.
Well, how can that not be cool automatically?
Is it a black room like the Man in Black?
No, it has walls. It's just cool. Well, you have to be there.
And by the way, which location is the horror crowd going to be in?
At the Asbury Lanes.
Okay.
Yep. So
on Sunday, right?
People on Sunday, March 28th. Yep. The film block is AL10. So what the hell is a film block? A film block. We have 56, I think, this year, different film blocks. So if you buy your virtual multipass, it'll give you access to the films. But for in-person events, the world is weird. We know that. So because of in-person events and the limited seating per each venue, you have to buy a ticket If you want to go to the lanes, the Asbury lanes, people get mad when I say the lanes because it's different. But if
Yeah.
you want to go to the Asbury lanes, you have to buy a ticket to go there. You can't just, usually we have the filmmaker badge or the multi-pass gets you access
Mm-hmm.
to all in person, but because of state mandates, and I don't know if where you're going to go, you might go here and there. So each venue you have to pay to get into, which, we're not excited about, but that's the only way we can do it.
Mm-hmm.
So I know some people are going to be a little confused, but we're just so excited to be a hybrid festival.
And with the Asbury Lanes, can people watch movies and bowl at the same time?
No, so we're covering the Garden State Film Festival is covering the bowling lanes because then we can fit more people in there. And the Friday night gala cocktail party on Friday, March 26th is we need that space for photos and getting images and the red carpet and all that jazz. So that will allow more space for physical distancing and everything, and it's just cool. And we've been presenting at the Asbury Lanes once a month. The furniture is cool. It's like a loungy feel. It's just really awesome. And their
That sounds.
equipment there is great. It's a great venue.
Is it like a '60s or '50s kind of vibe that bowling alley thing? Or
No,
is it
it
more modern?
used to be. Now it's more modern. You walk in, there's a huge, beautiful wall of all speakers, and there's heat now. I did in the past with the old lanes. I did a lot of pinup photography, modeling stuff there, and there was no heat ever.
Wait, back up there. You got pinup photography of yourself?
Yeah.
Send me some of those.
Okay, maybe. Yeah, it was really cool. It had like a retro vibe. It was
Cool.
a lot of leopard on me.
A lot of love. That's funny.
Yeah, but it was cool with the lanes and everything. But
Yeah.
we're stoked. I mean, Asbury Park is our home, and we're very happy that we're able to bring to our fans that want to be in person. I mean, we know everything's weird. If you don't feel comfortable, that's fine. But
Yeah, stay home and watch films
Yeah.
from the comfort of your own home.
or book a hotel room at the Asbury Hotel or the Berkeley and watch the films in your room. Order room service. I mean, I think that's what my husband's going to be pretty much doing. I think he's going to be ordering room service in the room and just watching the film and coming downstairs to do stuff at different times.
I didn't even think about that. That sounds
Yeah,
that sounds
right?
glorious, actually. Yeah.
Yeah.
So excited. And then
And if there's like one or two movies that you really want to see, go see that one live, but watch the rest in your room.
Yeah. Because so also normally after every single film block in person, we have a Q&A. So this year that's still happening. We're going to have a Q&A. It's just too wild for us. We are a small staff and volunteer group, but because of COVID, it'll be too much for us to try to get different people to live stream every single film block. So what worked in 2020 that was excellent was the filmmakers created their own filmmaker talkback sessions, Facebook Live sessions, and then that way, the audience can interact with you. You could even do one now if you wanted to, like similar to what we're doing, but you could have, more information and more access to the fans, or do it after your film screening. That was huge in 2020. So we were able to really bring the filmmakers to the audience, and it was just amazing.
Yeah, I love Q&A. Q&As, I've done so many of them recently this last year, and they're so fun because as we touched upon before, you connect with the fans, they ask you questions, they get inspired by your story or your film or whatever it is. And I just think it's a really, it's basically a live social media to me.
Yeah.
And I love that.
It's just nice connecting because we know our legions of fans. So we normally have 25 to 30,000 attendees in Asbury Park during a typical non-COVID time. So we know that our numbers, aren't going to be anything like that due to COVID, and that's fine with us. We still want to execute the festival and bring to the filmmakers and the fans, our duty of sharing the arts in this world, especially right now. It's so important. A lot of funders pivoted to giving towards food only, and that's great. But now we have a bunch of people eating food that are still depressed because no creative outlet. There's, we're actually able to bring the arts to you, which is huge. And in 2020, we were the first ones to do it, but especially our kids. I mean, we're home with the Zoom school and it's not really going well. So anyway, the more that we can do and bring to our, not only the filmmakers, but our legions of fans, just makes us feel good and helps us keep pushing. You know, and I'm like, I don't think about it, keep going. It's because when we get those emails, oh,
Yeah.
thank you so much, I can't believe you're doing this, blah blah blah. Like that's what helps fuel us to continue to bring.
Yeah. Motivates you, sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. Inspires you.
So I'll just be sleeping starting in April. I'll just sleep then.
Just have your husband do a lot more work on the festival. Take the load off of you, Lauren. Tell him I said that.
Okay, well, I text him. Well, but we're so excited, and we know that our fans are going to fall in love with you and your film, and your fans are going to, you know, they're going to come out of the woodwork for this film, and that was really what drew us to it. At the Brookdale, so I work at Brookdale Community College. That's my day job, and we have the Brookdale Performing Arts Center. They have won the best haunted theater. So the whole entire Performing Arts Center theater gets turned into a walk-through haunted theater. So I know that we have people, you know, as soon as I was watching this, I thought of them, and I spoke with Gina Ziegler at Brookdale. I knew this was going to be right up her alley. So we're excited to be, you know, meeting our fans and audiences where they're at and bringing this to them. And we think,
I love that whole thing about the haunted house walkthrough thing and it being done at a school. I just adore that. And that's the thing I want to quickly say about the horror crowd, the documentary. It's not about, oh, this is a history of horror film, which there's 20,000 of those out there, and they're fine. This is about the small group who, like your school, that says, let's do this. Let's make a haunted house walkthrough. Let's make a documentary about our lives and our secrets and all that. That's what this is about. Taking a microcosm, a small segment, 37 people, of the horror community and telling us their personal story, their loves, their lives, their dreams, their passions. Yeah. So I just love that. Yeah.
Me too.
How about you, Ming? Do you love it too?
You know I love it. You know I love it. I love any kind of fandom, and I love. Yeah. You know what I really love is just any event or gathering where everyone's there for the same purpose.
Right. Yeah. The energy.
And I definitely see that at horror conventions amongst horror fans and at film festivals. So that's why you'll see me at both of those.
Ming, are you more horror, sci-fi, fantasy?
Oh, definitely sci-fi. Yeah, you can't.
Yeah, I thought so. Your icon on the show is a robot, so I thought, oh yes, he's got to be a sci-fi guy.
Yeah, for sure. And I'm probably going to be buried with a lightsaber. So I mean, it's just, I'll tell you, just in case I run into, the Empire up in the afterlife. You always need a lightsaber. Yeah, you never know when you're going to need a lightsaber. Right. So yeah, I'll probably be buried with them.
Is there one here now?
Yes, there's a whole wall of them right over here.
Oops. Hi. Oh, hi.
To my
I didn't look over there.
To my right.
There we go. I'm back. There.
Oh, you're back. But you know what's so important? I mean, with COVID and everything, and the world's so crazy, I think it's even more important now to capture those stories, like these type of documentaries. I mean, whatever, it's true, but we don't know how long we're going to be here. We're only renting, I guess some people say, but I think it's more important to capture those stories while we're here, in order to, it's like going back to the classics and the new films. I mean, we need to know about the classics because, the younger kids now, I guess, whatever, and I'm like, wait, how old are you? You don't know that? You don't know this movie or whatever, or even like Goonies, stuff like that, like what? But it's so important. They should be brought up on it properly by their parents.
Yes, that's just good parenting.
Yeah. And if they can't do it, we'll have to do it.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
Are you there, Ruben?
Mm-hmm.
There he is. He's a little behind.
Oh, good. Okay, delay. All right, cool. With that, I want to thank you so much. We're
totally agree. That's why I start the film.
Yeah.
It is good parenting. That's why. Yeah. The film, I start off with Dracula, Frankenstein, Wolfman. You don't see me? You don't hear me?
No.
You hear me?
You're back now. Yeah, you're back. And we're back.
He's like 15 seconds behind.
Yeah.
Pennsylvania.
Yeah,
Pennsylvania.
I think something happened. But go ahead, wrap it.
No, well, we're so thrilled. I know I said that, but
okay.
AL10 is the film block. The schedule's coming out soon. I think today Julie
so
is
that's a lot. 15
sending it
seconds.
over. And
Hey,
Sunday, March
I must be
28th.
on a so.
Oh, yeah, you are. It's cool, though. Sunday, March 28th, 2021, the Horror Crowd is playing at the Asbury Lanes in Asbury Park, New Jersey from 1 p.m. to 3:15. So buy your tickets online now. Go to our website, gsff.org. If you have any questions, just click on the button and email us, and we write you back. It's us. Not a stranger. We say, hey, it's us. What's going on? If I text you something funny, it's because we're real and we just do it.
Yeah, and you're like, how can I help you?
Yeah, I'm like, hey, and they're like, who is this?
Yeah.
I'm like, hey, it's me.
Yeah.
But thank you again so much, and everybody, check out the Horror Crowd social media. Everything is posted in this interview, and we will see you in Asbury Park, Ruben.
He's on a delay, but we got.
Thank you so much. Am I still on delay, or can you hear me this time?
Oh, no, you're
I'll
good.
say bye. Thanks, guys. Love
Bye.
you.
Thank you. Love you.